Hey yo, so Jesse, I want you to sit here and think a little science with me for a while. We're gonna talk about greenhouse gases and holes in the ozone and all that stuff. And I'm gonna try to dumb it down for everybody, um, mostly for myself. No, I can understand the stuff, um, but yeah, just to make it simple. Okay, so all gases filter light. Okay, water vapor filters light. Certain wavelengths of infrared radiation, light, and ultraviolet light, and UVA and UVB get filtered out by gases and water vapor. Okay, CO2 is a gas. By adding extra CO2 to the air, it causes more filtration from sunlight, not less. Now you could say, oh, well, that's going to throw the balance off in the air mixture. No, it's just going to add a larger buffer to the atmosphere because you're adding more gas to the atmosphere. You're actually limiting more incoming radiation. Okay, that's the very basics of it. So, so where's the greenhouse? Where's the greenhouse effect coming from? Well, think about it for a while. Humans have completely changed their lifestyles in the last 200 years. Okay, we used to live in stone or wood cottages with grass hut roofs or cut wood roof. Okay, now we live in homes with asphalt shingles. Okay, tin roofs. You know, these things get super hot. They're nothing like walking on a piece of wood on a summer day. Like you can burn your feet and get blisters walking on them. Okay, that's a large difference in heat reflection. Okay, now we also didn't used to use as much concrete. You try walking on concrete on a hot summer day, it's going to burn your feet. Okay, so you have incoming radiation that's absorbed and reflected by what we're building. All right, you have oil pumped out of the ground and burnt in automobiles every day. Those automobiles get as hot or hotter than your average campfire. Okay, that's how hot the engine gets. You end up burning more fuel driving to and from work than if you built a campfire to cook on every night. All right, so there's that. And then because we're not doing campfires, there's less smoke in the air, causing the world to heat up just because there's not smoke in the air. The smoke used to block the UVA and UVB light and a lot of the other spectrums of light, okay, and radiation. So we don't have as smoky of air. Well, that's a good thing and a bad thing, okay? And then you've got our power plants that run on coal, power plants and industry that run on coal, natural gas, nuclear power, and all those things generate humongous amounts of heat. Okay, so we're generating heat sources, and then we're taking the sun's light and amplifying it and reflecting it in a bad way. And also, our agricultural management is bad. Rather than having plants and doing the old orchard style, like it was done in Europe for thousands of years, where you'd have old orchards and the trees would always be there and you'd never plow up the dirt. Well, we don't have that so much anymore. We have thousands and thousands of acres that get plowed up and are barren for parts of the year, and that creates desert-like conditions, dries things out, makes it hotter. Okay, and then where we used to have a lot of humans were nomadic, almost in almost every country, everybody settled down to some extent. Nobody travels around it hardly anymore. Um, at least not with their cows and sheep and goats. It's done in some places in the Middle East, but for the most part, it's not done. You know, in the more civilized areas of the world. So so that was migration pattern grazing, and that's super healthy for land. So our ranching operations are tearing up the land. There's less grass to absorb the heat. So that means the dirt absorbs it or reflects it and makes it hotter. There's a lot going into it, and I don't think it's the gases that are doing it. I think it's actually the way we're living. The way we live generates more heat than it ever used to in the past. You know, and go put your hand on a light bulb. That sucker's hot, right? Even the LED light bulbs were warm to the touch. Okay, you compare that to having a one or two candles lit in your house, you know, every night. But we have lights on inside all the time, and usually it's not just one or two. It's usually like a whole bunch, 8 or 10 of them. So what I'm saying is the greenhouse effect is because we are generating more heat and we are mismanaging the way we live. It has nothing at all to do with the burning of fossil fuels. Well, it does. I take that back. It does have to do with the burning of the fossil fuels, but it does not have anything to do with the gases that the fossil fuels put off. Okay, it's the literal heat that comes from combustion that's causing the problem. So I think that a lot of the climate science is actually being politically or yeah, being politically lobbied because big business doesn't want to change. That's what I think is really going on here.